So we've had discussions about the interesting choices they've made as far as like policies and buying multiple items and the price points on those, and like how like they a lot of the signage still says mix and match, but I've mixed and matched and gotten nowhere with it. So I've just stopped relying on pricing for that. So, in old situations where I'm like, I need four, but I'm gonna buy six because it's cheaper. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not even gonna bother. So
Well,
like I wonder if that was all a lead up to what they were hoping was to be the Albertson merger, because the Albertson merger like started
two
a
years ago.
little 2 years ago.
And
So
they
it's not out of the
originally
realm.
thought that it would be closed and done within 1 year. And then they were like, oh, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. They had no idea it was going to take 2 years.
And then be barred from being able to, like, the hubris is
Well, and when you
astounding.
think about it, number 5 should not be taking over number 10. You know, if being the number 5 store, they were aiming to buy up like the 29th or the 32nd store,
Right.
I don't think it would have been as big of an issue. But I feel like it is such lazy business conglomerates to
Mhm.
buy up all these stores, keep their names the same, and basically pretend, oh, this isn't a Kroger store, but you sell Kroger brand products as the
Right.
store name. So nobody's confused. This is a Kroger store. You need to just go ahead and pay all this quote unquote money you have and completely rebrand so everybody knows clearly that these are Kroger's. And then do not, okay, so almost every week when I do price comparisons on Lodo Family, I have a Kroger owned store.
Yep.
And Kroger owned stores is one of the few, the only almost store that when you go to their website and place an online order, you cannot search by price. Every
Oh,
other grocery store, you can search by lowest price.
I don't
So
even think you can do it in the Kroger app if I have
it's
it.
bizarre. Even Albertsons and all the Albertson owned stores. So like it's the exact same website, but with a just different name on it.
Yeah.
You can go look up bread and then sort by lowest price. And normally what comes up is their two different store brands. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
But no Kroger store can you search by lowest price. And I don't know if you know this, but Kroger came out with a new private label called, I believe it's called Smartway. And it is basically the super ultra lowest possible cost
Yeah.
private brand. And it's actually like super growing. Like it's one of the fastest growing private brands.
That's because
And
people are poor.
exactly. And because you can still buy that bread for $1
Yeah.
versus Kroger brands now $2.
Yeah.
And so, but the problem is if you search bread on a Kroger owned website, it will bring up like the first 5 are all sponsored and they're $6 a
Of course they
loaf.
are.
And then it'll start bringing up breadcrumbs and everything that mentions like breaded shrimp. I mean,
So
it's the
stupid.
worst SEO focused website I've ever seen. And then you can't even search by price. So if you were looking for that Smartway bread that's only $1, you have to go 5 pages deep to find it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they have purposely set up their website to encourage you to spend more out of frustration because nobody is searching through 10 pages of quote unquote bread to find that loaf of bread that's only $1.
I'm actually flipping through. I have the app on my phone now, and I'm flipping through it, and like, hold on. Yeah, you literally for sorting. Now you can set a price range, and it gives you, but your sort is relevance, popularity, and alphabetical.
Yes,
That's
because
it.
I want to search bread by alphabet. I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure that if I was just looking for Arnold bread, I would have just typed in Arnold bread.
right. But if you didn't necessarily know the name of the brand and you wanted to go back and search, like,
But
it's
still, what are the odds?
it,
I mean, everywhere else you can do sort by lowest, sort by highest.
yeah.
That's pretty standard. And so I feel like there is a lot of marketing manipulation done by Kroger,
Oh, for
and
sure.
that I think that their online orders are probably higher than average simply for the fact that people don't have 7 hours to keep flipping through all of these load more products to find it. And plus, what kills me is on Kroger's website, you can buy whole cases of stuff. So
Yeah.
if you search mayonnaise, you get like 10 mayonnaises,
Right.
and then you start getting all these cases and like 12-gallon drums of mayonnaise.
That's
I'm,
that's exactly what I need is
but
12
I'm sure
gallons of
there are
mayonnaise.
some sales for, large amounts, but it's like, why don't you have that in like almost like the plus size grocery section, like the average person trying to order their food does not care about the 12-gallon drum of
Not at
mayonnaise.
all. It's bananas.
So in a way, it's almost like they're also wanting to become Sam's or Costco.
Yeah.
It's like I
You ain't
think
Costco.
Kroger doesn't know who they are.
Costco.
Kroger is just shady on so many levels.
It's getting grotesque.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've had quality issues now.
Yes.
Like you're trying to compare yourself to the big boys, and yeah, all right, top five. But can I get a yogurt that's homogenized? Maybe I don't know. And two, I've had it happen with milk, and I've had it happen with yogurt, and they have their own dairy farms. I know they because we were talking about this. And like, if you're not going to deliver a quality product, why bother? Like, don't even have your own line if it's not going to be worth my money. Because I've just started buying it elsewhere because I spend enough money on these products in general that I want quality products. And so I'm gonna go down the street to a Lidl because they don't mess up my milk. I don't go to Publix. It's too high.
Mm.
Whole Foods, surprise! Like I've never once, not once, had an issue with quality when it comes to their dairy products. Is it
Now, I have
higher? Sometimes,
I
but
have
it ain't.
always
It's
been
not
a
stressful.
fan of like the markdowns at
Yeah,
Kroger,
me too.
especially in like their produce section, in their bakery section, in their meat section, hell, anywhere in the store section, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. But so you used to be able to go in there and you would, I like those salad kits, that have everything in it.
me
I didn't
too.
pay $7 for one, but when it's on markdown for $2, I'm like, woohoo.
Done deal.
And literally, it's funny because their little things say woohoo. But but anyway, so the last couple of times I've been in there and I've looked through their produce and I always look at their salad kits. You know how like you can see when lettuce is like so unbelievably wet
Yep.
and it's nasty and it's like
Yep.
nobody is eating this? They had just like huge displays of like 30 bags, and there was not a single bag there that I would have eaten for free. Like there was just nothing. Every single one of them needed to be in the trash. I have seen where they had regular cheese that wasn't even marked down and it was expired by 2 weeks.
Ugh.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, so I just feel like their quality, their I don't know. There's just their standards have really gone down and their prices, I'm telling you, have gone so high.
I
Because
agree.
it used to be their normal price of bread was $1. And then it slowly creeped up to like $1.09, $1.19. And now all
It's
of a
a,
sudden the regular price of their bread is $1.99. And every once in a while you see it on sale for $1.49. And I'm
yeah.
like, no.
The problem. So you're more rural than I am.
Yeah.
I'm more suburban, and I honestly like I have three Krogers within like shouting distance of my house. Like
Yeah.
hello, hello, and Lidl is out of the way, but I'll go. It's like an Aldi. If you don't have a
Yeah.
Lidl, it's very similar to an Aldi. And I like me a Lidl. They have pasture raised eggs. That's my gold standard of eggs. Because like you crack open a pasture raised egg and it's so gold on the inside. It just warms my heart. Regardless. So, but if I need something, like I'm making dinner and I've forgotten something,
And you don't have
Kroger
a
is
substitute, yeah, you just run up to Kroger.
I can get to Kroger and back in 12 minutes round trip.
And I used to live closer to your area, and it was wonderful because we had 3 Krogers within a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And these were actually Kroger stores. They weren't like Kroger owned. And it was great because if they had something on like super sale and I had a coupon, I could just hit all 3, you
Yeah.
know? But at the same token, though, in those areas that I lived, the only competition was one Aldi and one Publix.
Oh.
That was it. You know what I mean? So you're still like overrun with Krogers. And gosh, I mean, even in the city that I go to now that has Kroger, they have 3 Krogers. And it's funny because 2 of them we call the bad Krogers. Because the one that I go to is the good Kroger and they still are bad.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I feel like their community culture, their company's attitude and their employees' attitude towards customer service has gone so far downhill. And it's almost like Kroger, you need to step back. You need to do some type of internal audit and work on yourself because they get so much hate online just for the way that they treat customers and the way that they make things unbelievably complicated that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
They just came out with where if you are one of their Boost members, you could get some streaming for free, but in the fine print, you had to have their biggest membership package, not their smallest.
Yes.
And when people were contacting them through chat or through phone calls, they were basically like saying, not my problem, can't help you. Like, I mean, they had no solutions at all. And so I feel like before you start trying to compete with these big guys of Walmart and Target and Amazon, maybe you need to do some self-reflection and get your butt in gear before you start trying to take over other companies.
I think the problem is they're still making too much money. And I think it's going to come down to people truly shopping somewhere else and abandoning Kroger for a while to really make things happen. Like,
and I've mentioned before that I think in the upcoming 5 to 10 years, with all the new technology and AI, it is going to come down to customer service. People right now are shopping wherever the cheapest is, and in some places that is Kroger. But when inflation kind of goes back to normal levels and maybe our food prices start going down overall, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people jumping the Kroger ship because they just cannot stand the customer service and the quality there. And they may be riding the high horse right now, but I don't think they realize how just a very thin thread that they are standing on.
No, for sure.
It's not going to take much for a whole bunch of people to abandon Kroger. And in fact, so many people have over different issues with their sales, with their digital coupons.
Quality of products, customer
One
service.
of the followers on Lodo Family was mentioning that their customer service is only open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, that's not even their store hours. And that sometimes during that time, customer service is just closed.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone to work.
So they're relying more heavily on the pre-sliced lunch meats now, but the pieces are so thick. It's so thick that I normally put 2 pieces of cheese on a sandwich. One because it is, it's chunky. And then the same with their lunch meat. And so I've gotten to where I don't want to buy my lunch meat there. And then there's nobody in the deli anymore. Like the deli closes at 6. I'm like, who? What? No, why? And if you're there and there is someone there, they almost act like you don't exist.
Well, and I used to love to buy chicken breasts, like the Heritage Farm, just the Kroger brand chicken breasts, because they're gigantic breasts, and usually they would go on sale, pretty often down to $189, $199 a pound. But I'm telling you, the last couple of times I went there to get them, I could not buy them because they were just the bloated packages. I know some people say that they're fine, but I'm just not going there. I
No.
don't like seeing chicken where it's got the big red bloody spots like clots and stuff. That's not appealing. Or it looks like it had gotten stuck in a machine and it's all shredded and
Yeah.
nasty. And I'm like, no, I would spend more somewhere else for good looking chicken than to buy this because I mean I may like cheap chicken, but not that much.
Right. Yeah,
So
because it comes down to quality of product all over again. Like, if you're not taking the care to actually do things right, like, why bother?
yeah.
So,
So anywho, I feel like we're going down the Kroger rabbit hole here.
we had a 20-minute Kroger rant.
Yeah,
My bad,
sorry
guys.
about that, folks.
Maybe we should put a disclaimer that says 20-minute Kroger rant ahead. Proceed if you dare.